All right, good afternoon, everyone. So I wanted to do an update on this garden what happened last time with the object lesson of the latter rain and the garden and all of that. And our hearts prepared. Are we ready for that? And everything that happened. I wanted to just show you an update of how the garden is now and his mercies, because when I went through the garden and I saw everything that happened and all the destruction and everything getting washed down the hill, I was discouraged. But there was a song that came into my head that I really just kind of helped me. It was "I'll sing of the mercies of the Lord forever. I will sing, and with my mouth I will make known His faithfulness to all generations." And so I wanted to show you guys some of the mercies that He did for me in the garden. And actually, I didn't lose the lot that I thought I had lost. So I am going in through this gate again of the garden, and just to do a little well, not really panorama, but just show you guys some of what's going on here, what it looks like right now. So this area here, there was the area that the beds got washed out. A lot of this bed here got washed out, and then this right here, this bed here. And then some of these beds kind of got washed over too. And this one was the one that got washed over, that had the spinach and everything in it, which now the spinach is going to seed. So I was able to put all the soil back, and I just took a lot of wheelbarrowing and shoveling and stuff. And I was able to replant some seeds. Some seeds, like the early crookneck, like summer squash, and here and here, completely got washed. I have not found them at all, so those got lost somewhere. But a lot of seeds, surprisingly, a lot of seeds I have been able to find. They sprouted, they came up. I found a peanut from down there, actually up here, right next to this little hill right here. I found a peanut here, and so I was able to transplant it and put it back down where it was supposed to be. And oh, hey, this is really cool right here. So in the last video I showed how the water had come through right here, under this shed here, and had washed out this area right here. But where the zucchini seeds were planted, this hill right here was completely washed around. And it's like I said, it was like Father put his hand over it and said, "No, you're not going anywhere, you're staying right there." So now the zucchini seeds have sprouted, and they're plants here and here. And this eggplant right here, this one, I found it all the way down at the end of the garden. I'll show you later in the video where I found it. No roots around its soil, no soil around its roots. There I am going backwards again. But I found this little eggplant right here. I didn't think it would survive. I put it back where it was. I couldn't even believe I found it. I thought maybe it had got washed completely out of the garden, but it was up against the fence, and put it back, and wow, I didn't lose it. So I thought I had lost it, but I didn't. And so it's just another one of His mercies. And let's see what else. Let me walk this way. Oh yeah, this right here. This bed right here, where all the arugula Swiss chard is now, and the spinach was. I had planted little tiny seeds here with the Swiss chard and arugula. And it was, they were probably a couple weeks old, you know, from sprouting and all of that. They were coming up. They were looking good. And then when this bed got washed over, I thought I lost all of them. I didn't think they were going to survive. I did lose some of them, but not all of them. As you can see, there's like a space right here where it kind of really got washed out. But here was that same spinach plant that didn't get washed away. But on either side of this, these plants right here, these plants were just all washed over. You guys saw it in the last video. They were all washed over. And I thought, man, I don't know if they'll survive or not. But I put them back up. And as you can see, I have a harvest right now of the arugula and the Swiss chard that is just amazing. I mean, look at these leaves. These leaves are huge. These leaves are and they're pretty too. I mean, they're beautiful. And so I was just really amazed at this. You know, we think that we're not prepared for something, or that if we're not, you know, rooted or grounded enough ahead of time, that we could get washed away. And we could. It is a possibility. But it's not always the case. The Father's mercy is great. And I'm just amazed at so much that He has, what He did with this, like with the spinach, and with the arugula and the Swiss chard. I thought it was, you know, the crop was just destroyed. But it wasn't. I was able to put it back up, and now it's thriving. It's doing really good. And so even though in life we think we may not be prepared for something, or we don't know enough, we're not rooted enough, we're not grounded enough in the Father, don't let that discourage you. If you think your relationship with Him is not where it should be, don't let that discourage you. Because if you turn your heart right now to Him, He will work in you wonders and miracles. It says that He will finish the work that He has begun in you. So if He started a good work in you, He will finish it. And even if it looks like or appears like some maybe friends or loved ones, or if you even feel like yourself, you're getting washed away, just hang on to Him. Pray, don't give up, because you never know what He can do. And that's what I felt like as I was preparing, like fixing all the damage that was done in this garden, that I just felt going through my head every day. You never know what Yahweh can do. Don't look at the circumstances as they are. Have faith and look to Him, because He knows what He's doing in our lives. And it may be for a better, like a benefit, actually. It may be good for you, the trials that you're going through. It may help you. All things work together for good for those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. So I was just wanting to do this video to encourage you guys to trust the Father, that He is able to finish the work. He loves you. He's called you. You are His child. And don't give up hope. So that's what I was just thinking as I was doing this, and I wanted to share that with you. So don't give up hope, because He can and will finish the work He has started in you and bring a good harvest of joy, of peace, of happiness, relationship with Him. That's what brings the most joy. So anyway, I was thinking, another thing I was thinking was, I heard this right after this whole storm went through and this happened. I heard that, some of the ancient cultures used to pray actually for floods and rain, because it would wash down silt, and the silt had extra minerals in it and helped to replenish the soil and help the crops to do better. So I noticed as I was digging a lot of this area up, and I'll walk over this way and show you, I was digging up actually a lot of silt, so hopefully there was minerals in that. I don't know. It could have been a blessing. Maybe it will thrive better. Here's another thing. All of these, this right here, all of this whole row here of sorghum, it was all seeds. It hadn't sprouted yet. And they all got washed down. They were all kind of clustered kind of right here. A couple of them were still kind of straggling, but it all kind of got washed down. And I was like, man, the sorghum I just planted just got washed. Now who knows where the seeds are. But actually, I was able to take them and take all of the things that were clustered here and transplant them back up, and they're completely fine. So I did not lose my sorghum. I thought I did, but I didn't. Another one of his mercies that I'm just amazed. And let's see, sunflowers. The sunflowers was the other thing that I thought I had lost, because a trench had all the water came down from under the shed over there and down the rows, and it's washed all the way down right here. But this fence was closed, and the wood chips piled up right here, and the water just kind of went like this and piled up against it, and there was no outlet, and it went down and washed out this row of sunflowers, except for the first couple ones that were bigger, and they had sprouted sooner, and they survived. But all the rest I thought I had lost. I was able to replant a lot of the seeds. As you can see here, they are. This one here is one that I replanted, and this one here. They're smaller, but they're growing. They're not as big as the other ones. They're not as far along, but it's okay. There'll still be time to harvest sunflower seeds. So I thought that I had lost it all because I didn't have any more I didn't have any more seeds. But then I remembered that I had made an order for seeds, and you know how sometimes you're just browsing around on a website or something looking for seeds, and then you find something you like. Ooh, like those mammoth sunflowers. I want more of those. I like those. I really don't need more. I have enough for this year, and then I'll get more seed from what I don't need to buy more seed, but I just felt impressed. I wanted to buy more seed. So I bought more mammoth sunflower seeds, and I had no reason to buy them. I really didn't. I just wanted more, and I forgot that I had bought more. So they were on the way. They showed up a couple days later in the mail, and then I was able to replant all this row that had gotten washed out. So looks like a deer got one of them. This is what Sergeant's for. My dog helps. Thankfully not all of them are gone. But so this area down here is where the fence is still piled up, right? It kind of from where I've not been able to keep it straightened out. It doesn't want to straighten out again. I might have to put a pole there or something maybe to straighten it out. But this is where all the wood chips piled up against it, and the water flowed over right here. And everything, dug out from everything here. So what I'm doing to prevent this from happening again is digging out the walkways. And you can see I've started right here digging out this walkway. And we've actually had two more pretty good rains since then that could have done some damage had I not been out here to avert it, but showed me what I needed to do to prevent this from happening again. And I think that Father does that in our lives as well. When we go through an experience, not only does it help us, but it helps other people too. We're better prepared for it next time. So I feel like that's what he's doing right now, is he's helping me to see how I can better be prepared so this won't happen again. So what I'm going to do is step over here. I am going to dig out this walkway, and I have some pipe that I'm going to put an outlet right here underneath that 8x8 over there, so the water can run down this walkway and not pile up right here as it's been doing. It's been taking all my wood chips and piling them up right here. Anyway, so I'm gonna put a kind of like a little culvert right here, so that way the water can run under the bed and not just wash everything down. So, and here, and I'm thinking about maybe putting one there too. So I started digging out this walkway, and I got to right here, and I'm gonna dig out the rest of the walkway. And I'm actually going to leave this walkway higher, because you can see what I did was I built a little dam so the water couldn't come down this way and wash more dirt down this direction, and the water just kind of flows out instead of down that walkway. So I did that all through here, and that really helped. So I'm going to leave these walkways higher than the central walkway here, and that was a problem. You know, some of the water, you know, building up and then running down because it's at a slight angle. But that wasn't the main problem. The main problem was up, I almost dropped my, okay. The main problem was up here because the garden is on a slight hill. Comes down like this. I'll show you this here. We put in a fence here. And dug out a ditch. So all the water coming from down the hill, last time what happened was, and I noticed it was red clay water, like it had a reddish tint to it. So all the water was running down the hill, going over that area right there, running under the shed, and then washing out the garden. So hopefully now that we have this fence put up and a little ditch or culvert dug, the rain will, if it rains as hard as it did last time, it will just come this way and go around the garden. It rained today, and this is kind of what happened today. You can see some of the silt washed down from the hill. And we watched the water come down the hill and come down this way, and it did good. It didn't rain as hard as it did the time before, but it did really good. So I'm thankful for that. You know, the Father gives us fences or protection actually in His Word. That's what His Word is about. His Word is about how to live life so with happiness in a relationship with Him, and then He gives us those laws or fences to protect us from evil that we may not see, or danger that we may not see, and to prove us to whether we love Him or no. So so that's kind of my fence here. You know, I just thought about that just now. It's kind of like a picture of a protection of His laws, you know, protecting us from what we may think, you know, dangers we may not know. So now that I'm at the top of the garden, I kind of just want to walk through and show you guys everything. Let's see, starting from right here, I have herbs here, some comfrey and plantain and echinacea and some what do you call it, red clovers, and then horseradish. And I also have mint, and let's see, this is borage right here, borage greens. They're a really nice flower, and the greens really taste good. They taste kind of like a cucumber. Then here is, somebody gave me a Jerusalem artichoke in this pot, and I have shampoo ginger, and it's coming up really nicely here. I'm going to take and put it inside the greenhouse during the winter. So that way I can keep the ginger. And let's see, my tomatoes that are further along here. and lettuce, some eggplants and a pineapple, some peppers, and this sunflower right here. I wanted to show you guys this sunflower. It is so pretty. Anyway, I like sunflowers, if you can't tell. And this is my garden shed. And let's see, I have some seeds planted here. I've been planting today because it was raining. So, and here is where I start all my seeds, and then I cover the greenhouse with 2 layers of plastic during the winter time and have a fan going, and it just keeps this whole area more warm. And I was able to keep tomatoes going all winter and have cherry tomatoes, and I think it was 2 years ago, through the whole winter. That was really nice. They ripen really fast, so I'm thankful for the cherry tomatoes. It was easier, I think, to grow cherry tomatoes in here than it was larger tomatoes that would take longer to ripen in the winter time. But yeah, anyway, so, and this is a yellow toothache plant here. It is anyway, it's a yellow toothache plant. As it says, it helps to relieve toothaches. I tried it once. It wasn't very pleasant if you don't have a toothache. Let's see. Echinacea, sorghum. I have some potatoes that are extra potatoes planted right there. Sunflowers down this row. I have some beans and some sugar beets and ground cherries. I have kombucha squash and lamb's quarters right here. The lamb's quarters will go actually very soon, maybe tomorrow, and so that way the kombucha squash has room to branch out. But I love the lamb's quarter greens. They're really yummy. And then the next row is okra in the middle, and some more squash, hard winter squashes like butternut squash and acorn squash. And then beyond that is the eggplants that I was telling you about earlier, the one that got washed out. Is Grace and Mercy. Anyway, and then I have sweet peppers here, and then the yellow squash, and I forgot which one I planted here. I'll have to look and see later which one I planted there, and of course the zucchini. And then over here I have planted, I have to go over there first. Anyway, nasturtiums, more arugula, and Swiss chard, another new row here for when that one goes. Here is patty pan squash, and then the purple, red actually, mustard greens, beans, and here I have cantaloupe and zinnias. The cantaloupe is going to grow up here, and I'll have to support the cantaloupe as it grows on this trellis, but it saves space. Then here I have bitter melon. Down this walkway here I have some lettuce on this side. I've just planted some kale here, so that way the shade in the summer hopefully will help it. I'm going to plant huckleberries here, and then potatoes. Oh my goodness, my potato bed. Wow, I think the rain kind of blew some of these over, but I have not ever had my potatoes just like do what this is doing right now. This is taking up 2 walkways and the bed. You can't even see the bed, but it's a raised bed here. And then here's some more raised beds. I have tomatoes in all of the center of the raised beds, and then some greens and some beans and other things on either side of them. Hot peppers I have here down this row. I have some beets on the other side. Oh, down here. I had a little bit of damage here too from the last video. I didn't show it, but some water had piled up here and washed out the beans. But I was able to, amazingly, they were tiny little sprouts, and they kind of, some of them were even out of the dirt a little bit. I put them all back, and now they're doing great. But one of the sunflowers seeds from up the top of the hill somehow got washed right here. I don't know whether to move it or just let it be. I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. But anyway, my beans, I was able to recover a lot of the beans and the peas, which are now, snap peas, are now producing really well. So I have those they got washed over too, but I was able to put them back up. They're a little more mature than the beans were, but I was able to put them back up and they're doing great. So let's see, romaine here, carrots going to seed from last year, beets, bok choy, which is going to seed, and that's going to come out probably today. And then I have leeks and coriander, and I have more cilantro, slow bolt cilantro variety coming behind that. And then I have kale here in this bed, and parsley, and sage, thyme from last year, and it's flowering now, but I think it'll hang in there a little while. And then I have going to grow up this trellis here and maybe over this whole area to give it shade. Then I can take this shade cloth down. Loofahs! And the loofahs are climbing their way up. They'll climb up this trellis, and you only need a couple plants, that's for sure, if you're growing it for shade. And for sponges, they're prolific. So, my roses were in bloom when I shot this video last. Here's another rose here. They're kind of petering out now, but they're so pretty. Then here I have yard-long beans along this back exit from or entryway from the garden. It is so neat having the yard-long beans on this. You just kind of just hang down. It's pretty. I have dill here, oregano, chives. I just planted a new kind of flower, and I can't wait to see. I think it's going to be really pretty. It's an African daisy, Cape marigold, and we'll see how. I have them around the garden in different places. We'll see how this little plant here. We'll see how that comes out. I think it'll be very pretty. Cucumbers here, borage again, more tomatoes, and these are a variety of cherry tomato, black cherry tomato that my parents gave me. They're going to grow up and over, and this trellis here. I have more carrots here and flowers, tomatoes, icicle radishes. I'm more letting those go, not so much to eat, but they're supposed to be a good companion plant for cucumbers. We'll see how that does. The cucumbers look great. So I pulled out some, but I left some. On this side I have more beets growing. And this is where my peanuts are. Down this row. And here is a plant. I think it's a volunteer. This looks like a watermelon plant from last year, because I've never planted watermelon down here ever before. So it got washed down the hill and ended up here. So this is kind of shows you where all my seeds just got all mixed up in all the soil and everything. I mean, but most of it was repairable, and so it's really good. So all the peanuts here, and in this row here is more peanuts, and that's about it. So anyway, I'm just amazed at God's mercies and His goodness to us. You know, He gives us all this. He helps us to plant the seeds. He helps it to grow. We water it. Sunshine, you know, it's a good spiritual. There's so many parables and lessons of things that He does for us, you know, in the garden. And so I actually asked a couple of my friends to sing with me, because that one song that I was running through my head when all of that big storm that came through last time was, "I will sing of the mercies of the Lord forever." And so I asked a couple of my friends to sing that with me. And I need to go find them, I guess, and see where they're at, because I don't know where they're at. I thought they were around the garden. Anyway, they helped me out a lot around the house and around the garden. There they are. Is Abigail coming? All right, cool. So I have a couple of friends, Debbie and Abigail, and they're going to sing with me. We're going to sing a song for you guys. I will sing of the mercies of the Lord forever. So, anyway, I figured I'd use the garden as a backdrop to do that. So here's Debbie, and here's Abigail. You can't see them. Maybe you can see them now. Here, get in a little closer to the camera. Sure. That'll work. I'll do it like this. All right. Hopefully everyone's in the camera now. Okay. So, we'll sing this song for you guys. Hope it blesses you. I will sing of the mercies of the Lord forever. I will sing. I will sing. I will sing of the mercies of the Lord forever. I will sing of the mercies of the Lord. With my mouth will I make known your faithfulness, your faithfulness. With my mouth will I make known your faithfulness to all generations. All right, you guys have a great day. Blessings, and we love you. Bye.